And we are back for another live episode of The Kingdom. Welcome everybody across this beautiful country of ours, Manitoba, Sask, Alberta, up in Pincher Creek, all the way to the west coast, British Columbia, and back to the Rock, Newfoundland, and anybody else who's out there watching, maybe from the States, maybe from Africa. We're glad to have you tonight. We got some lots of golf to talk about tonight. Everybody's getting excited for golf, it seems like. So, Drummy, we're without a Reggie tonight, but he might be showing up. I sent him an invite. We'll see what happens here, but we'll see in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by, not as always, we're Regless today. So we're joined by the one founding member of King Golf, Thomas Jordan Headley. So we'll switch things up from our regular scheduled programming and see what is happening out in Rossman. What's happening, buddy? How are you?
Hello, folks. That might be my new intro. Instead of top of the evening to you. Thoughts? You froze, or I froze. Looks like you froze by the...
Oh, boy.
Oh, no, we're back. You're moving. I thought you just had a really extended eyebrow raise at me there, but you froze. So did you say something? What do you think of that?
I didn't get anything. I didn't catch a word.
Oh, now you're on mute. We're off to a hot start here. Okay, well, anyways, I'll keep going. Things are good up here in the north. I guess I'm not quite as north as Reggie, but I'm north of you, Drummy. What a winter we've had. What a winter it's been. I mean, I hate saying it because I feel like I'm jinxing it, but do you remember a better winter of our life?
Definitely do not. Mind you, I can't remember last week very well, but I don't remember this in February.
I don't remember anything remotely close to this winter in terms of how nice it's been. I don't know. I just feel like if Manitoba was always like this, more people would live here.
100%. I think this is like usually the time of the year where we're like, okay, we're going to get absolutely smacked for like 2 weeks still.
Yes.
It's coming. And I'm still holding on to that because just that's how we've been trained and programmed to do. Fair Week is still upcoming, and we usually get 17 feet of snow for Fair Week. So I'm not holding my breath that we're out of this shit yet, but we're close.
We're close. We're hella close. You can see grass on the golf course here at Rossman Lake.
It's crazy.
Never before. But anyways, it's nice. It's nice to get a break a little bit. I feel like the 2 winters ago was the coldest and the most snow we've ever got in history. And so I feel like maybe that's made it a little bit easier. But also, imagine that winter, you're just like, fuck it, I've had enough of Manitoba. I'm done. And then all of a sudden we get 2 winters like this back to back.
Right.
Pretty cool. But no, we got some golf in on the weekend.
Oh, the Swingers Club.
We played at the Swingers Club.
And?
Well, Reggie's not here, so I'm not going to report on the scores. But I will say that the course was 7,400 yards, the longest course I've ever played in sim or real life. And nobody was in the 80s. We'll just say that. Nobody's lower than 90. We'll say that.
What course?
It was fun. It was actually the quarry at Giants Ridge. That's the course we chose, which is in Minnesota.
Sweet.
Yeah. And so it was pretty cool. It had some really cool holes. They were all like driver.
Somewhat doable.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to play it. Is maybe we'll play there one day. Am I lagging here or something?
Yeah, a little bit. Just you and Reg?
Reg, myself, and Justin, Britt's boyfriend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. So he's a pretty good player too. He's the furthest hitter of the ball I've ever played with in real life. He absolutely crushes it, dead straight, like 330, 340 yards, pretty consistently. But he was struggling on the sim. I don't know what it was, but I
Oh,
think he
yeah.
was teeing a little bit too high. It was kind of popping up. But heck of a player. It was tough though, man. Like that was a long course. It was pretty much driver 5-iron into every hole. There was a 200. I think the one hole was 250 yards, par 3. I had a driver. So that's kind of
Nothing
what
can
we were
feel good
working with.
about that.
Yeah. I honestly didn't
Having
know
to hit a
how far
driver
it
on a
was
par
until
3.
we looked at the scorecard after. I didn't realize it was 74, 7,500 yards. Look at this fella, D Gun from GA. Is that Georgia?
Oh, believe so.
Georgia?
Georgia.
Hello
I got
from MB.
Georgia.
Glad to have you here tonight. If you like golf, you're in the right spot. Okay, well, that's enough about me. It was a fun day. Nice to swing the club, especially here in Rossburn. Who would have ever thought that we'd be golfing in the wintertime in Rossburn? Not me. So,
It's hilarious, and we'll poke Reg a bit at the fact that Dauphin doesn't have one and Rossman does. So there you go. Suck on that, Dauphin. Got to get
what's up with
yourself into
Brandon?
the swinging, I guess. Not much, man. Same thing. Just we're clawing our way out of winter. Hopefully, like I said, we got to get through the fair. As soon as we get through fair week, we'll be in the clear. Pretty decent weekend for us as well over here. We spent the afternoon Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. Everything's blending. Up at Clear Lake with the in-laws. The whole crew was out there. We just spent the afternoon up there, had brunch/lunch, and did some walking the trails. They've actually got like ice set up so you can skate basically everywhere downtown.
That's pretty cool,
But
eh?
it's sweet. But yeah, I totally forgot about it, and we didn't bring our skates, or would have definitely done that. We're back up there in a couple of weeks. We're doing a couple nights at Elkhorn. We do it every year, so I'm hoping and praying that it stays cold enough for just those couple of weeks so Luca can get out on the rink one more time this year, or he might legitimately kill somebody. So
That's
yeah, we did that on Saturday, and then Sunday we spent it out tobogganing all afternoon. So good weekend outside. The weather was beautiful, so we spent our long weekend outside. It's just so weird, the long weekends, man. I don't know. You're not in an office anymore, but you anticipate a long weekend until you get to work on Tuesday morning, and you're like, I definitely need that day back. What the hell was the point of that? So yeah, just trying to make it through for this week and go from there.
Yeah, it is definitely a little bit different. That's one thing I do miss about the office job is the long weekends. I was
Do
up.
you though?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit different for me because even on Monday this week, I was up at 6 just before 6 a.m. and I did the show on the 88 Sats channel at 8 a.m. I was just like, whatever. I'm bored. I'm not tired. I want to get out of bed and I want to get going here. So I don't know. It is different. I wouldn't say, I miss it, but it's a different kind of lifestyle. I don't know. There's pros and
Yeah.
cons for sure. But anyways, shout out to Sachi. This is one of my pals from the 88 Sats show every morning. He's a Manitoba boy. So, or girl, I don't know,
Beauty.
but they're from Manitoba. So they got a nice cup of Crown Royal there with some ice. Cheers. Speaking of cheers,
Oh, and a gar.
we ready? Oh, I didn't even see the cigar on there. Speaking of that, let's get to the cheers for this evening. Every show, we do a cheers to somebody, something, or whatever's going on that's worthy of a cheers. So this week it's actually going to be the Masters. And even though we are, month and a half away, Drummy?
I believe we are 49 days away.
Approximately.
Yes.
Okay, so this is we're giving a shout out to the Masters tonight because they had an announcement today for their special invitees to the Masters. So I forget if it was a couple weeks ago or whenever it was, but I was kind of bitching about the fact that Joaquin Niemann has been having a pretty good year on the Live Tour this year. He's won an event, been playing some very good golf, and because of the world rankings and because how the golf world is right now, he wasn't able to go to the Masters. So the Masters was kind enough to reach out. Every year, I guess they invite 3 special invitees. This is what the Masters tweet said. The Masters tournament has a long-standing tradition of inviting leading international players who are not otherwise qualified. Today's announcement represents the tournament's continued commitment toward developing interest in the game across the world. So, along with Joaquin Niemann of Chile, Japan's Rio Hisatsune, that's not right at all, Hisatsune,
You're getting worse.
and Denmark's Thorbjorn Olesen. So those 3 fellas, that'd be a pretty nice. I hate getting mail because it's always bills.
Yeah, very true.
That'd be a pretty nice letter to get in the mail, I think. Invite
It
to the
probably
Masters.
comes, yeah, it probably comes in a sick green. You think it'd be like a green jacket envelope?
Like, do you think it actually goes to their post office? Because
Oh, I would hope so. That'd be such a sick like keepsake.
I know, but like, think of all the people in between there.
Well, you think it's just like an email goes out to the agent?
I don't know. I just feel like if I got a invite to the Masters in this town, there'd be like a lineup of 100 people outside waiting to open it.
Yeah, if you live in bum f nowhere and the mailman knows you like he's your brother and he sees that, you think he's not telling the entire town?
That's what I
For sure,
mean.
right? Yeah.
That's what I mean. And somebody could open it quite easily. I don't know.
Do, I wonder that's something there's some homework for us. We gotta find out if they actually get like a letter sent to them. How sick is the envelope? Like what does it look like?
I feel like
Because it's the
somebody's
Masters,
posted
right?
it before.
So it's got to be sick.
Yeah, like the picture of it. I'm not going to pull a Reggie here and try to show it on the screen, but the picture of it looks like it's a green envelope with just a little bit of a note in
Gold
it,
trim or
handwritten
something.
note. So I don't know. I also feel like, speaking of that, I also feel like the art of handwriting is really going away from the world. I feel like if you're whether you're an individual, a business, whatever you are, I feel like if you can take some extra time and actually give somebody a handwritten note of any sort, I think it goes a long way nowadays. Like, do they even teach kids how to write anymore in school?
Very good question. And like even before us, like we never learned cursive.
No, I just mean like handwritten though, not even cursive.
I know, but I'm saying like cursive was a form of
Yes.
writing at one point too, right? It's
Yeah.
just it's everything's getting weaned out. But I remember growing up and one or two of my cousins were doing cursive like in school, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I hope I never have to do this, and I
You
never
didn't do it?
did. So like we were just like at the tail end of cursive being taught.
Oh, I did it in grade 3.
Really? Like I remember handwriting and shit, but not cursive. Cursive looks way way too fancy.
Oh, maybe it's not then. I don't know. Anyways, but I guess from there, the next part of this equation. So we went from cursive to handwriting to typing, and I don't know, like in years from now, I don't even know if kids will need to type. I just feel like everything is so like voice activated now. You can turn anybody's voice into a using AI. You can turn anything to writing now or typed.
Did you see what Elon was saying about Neuralinks?
About who?
Neuralinks?
What about?
So they implanted one successfully,
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
that person yesterday moved a mouse with their thought.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
it's kind of
the
cool because
it's
whoever they're
so
doing it
cool.
on like needs it, but I also don't think I'd be the
It's
first in line there.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Like I don't want to be the first in line for a new phone. Never mind something that's being implanted in my brain.
pretty nuts. Golf Highway Drake is in the house tonight. What's up, Drake? I think he's talking Mr. Satoshi about Sauchi. It could be Satoshi here in Manitoba. He's out there somewhere, or they're out there somewhere. Dusty Dick is also in the house. He said, loving the fact that Masters is doing their own thing. Nice to see them committed to having the best possible field. Amen to that. You have to give it to the Masters. I mean, every year, and I hope we do it again this year, but every year, Reggie comes on and he gives his things you didn't know about the Masters. And there's some kind of weirdness going on there for sure with how much money they have and how it was all acquired. But at the end of the day, they are the cream of the crop in terms of golf. Everything, the app, how the tournaments run, this kind of stuff. Everything is just the highest standard at the Masters, and you kind of have to be. People expect it.
Yeah, and I mean they're back in or finally into like the 21st century. We've got some women that can play the course, some members of color. Like we're for them to be leading the charge now, like from where they were at one point. The Masters is by far above where the PGA Tour is. It's crazy that just
Yeah,
one friggin' tournament can have it figured out, but an entire league or tour can't get it as sorted.
no shit. Anyways, that was a long-winded cheers, but cheers to the Masters. Letting Joaquin in
Cheers to the
the best
Masters
possible
and
field.
Joaquin.
Okay, well, let's talk about AC and then we'll hit around the greens. What's going on in AC's world today, this weekend?
AC is back in action and he is in Kenya this week. Favorite spot of his. He tees off. Actually, he tees off right away. He's at 10:50 this evening, and then he is at 3:40 a.m. Friday morning. So very shortly, and then we in the middle of the night for us. So hopefully he has a another good week. Last week he didn't play, but the week prior, and I mean this is going to happen in a season. He's been absolutely on fire, and then he had a cooler week where he missed the cut. But as expected, he's not going to make everyone or compete incredibly well every tournament. So this will be one to get back on the saddle here.
Yep. Kenya. Seems like Team AC's been doing pretty good work on the socials lately, keeping everybody informed. I mean, I guess it's different when you actually have kind of a following now, which he's earned. So it's good to see
Right,
keeping everybody in check. But good luck
informed.
to AC this weekend. Hopefully, he gets back into gets to play another weekend this weekend.
Absolutely.
Sachi, don't love this, my friend. The Live is the trailer park. PGA and the Masters is Hollywood. But is Hollywood a good thing either? I don't know. I mean, I'd probably rather live in the trailer park than Hollywood. TBH. Fuck Hollywood.
More fun. Um, I got to take back a little bit of hate.
To who?
Kelsey Bros.
To who?
But the Kelsey Bros.
Why?
Just the one, though. Travis
Why?
can still suck it. The other one seems like the biggest beauty that's ever existed. Have you been seeing these
Really?
videos of his celebration tour? Like, he didn't even win the Super Bowl, but he was probably partying harder than, well, by far harder than his brother was. But Jason Kelsey, like his little tour that he's on partying right now, whoo, boy is having a time. There's the great shot. They're in the club after the Super Bowl win, and it's showing Travis and Taylor dancing and like grinding on each other, and then it pans to like the stage and the DJ, and Jason Kelsey's got a Nacho Libre mask on, just humping the air and going absolutely nuts, like he just won the Super Bowl. So I'm taking back a bit of hate from Jason Kelsey, and he is. And like I said before, they were about to turn into my books and be beauties in my mind, and then everything hit the wall. So I'm taking back a bit of hate and putting a bit of love on Jason Kelsey.
That's fair. You're allowed to do that. If I see Taylor Swift and that Kelsey guy one more time, I might throw my phone through the window.
I give it two more months.
It's the most ingenuine thing I've ever seen in my entire life, by far.
Yeah.
Like it actually makes me sick. Look, it's like my rankings of things that make me sick. Reggie's not here tonight, so we can. Number one is obviously Justin Trudeau. Number two, those two. Number three, I don't even know who else would be on that list.
I'm right with you, man. It's absolutely crazy.
Reverse cheers to Trudeau. Okay, let's get to around the greens. Shall we?
Alrighty. Yeah. Okay, so this first one I got is actually a really good one too. Do you remember the name Sangmoon Bae?
Yep.
Two-time PGA Tour winner. This weekend he finished tied for ninth at the Malaysian Open, but that wasn't even like the big thing that happened to him this weekend. Thursday evening, group was just having dinner in the clubhouse, and a gentleman collapsed on the floor, and Sangmoon was the first person on the scene and performed CPR to this gentleman and ended up saving this guy's life. Resuscitated this guy, brought him back, was able to get him up and going when paramedics showed up. So he performed CPR successfully, saving this gentleman's life, and then proceeded to play a golf tournament the next day.
Wow.
Absolute hat tip, absolute G move.
Why did we not give him the
unreal.
cheers tonight?
Very true. So secondary cheers to Sangmoon.
Sangmoon Bae. It's a great name too.
Have you ever been anywhere where somebody started choking?
No. Was he choking or having some sort of other issue?
I think he choked on something.
Oh.
I've seen it once, and it was like a quick 20-second thing. Like a guy who hopped out of his chair, and then just the guy that he was sitting with hopped up and did the old Heimlich and got some. I think it was a steak out, and all was good after that.
Is there anything scarier than choking on something?
Or being when the wind get knocked out of you?
Yeah. But at least then you know it's going to come back. Like if you got, I don't know, I've probably told this story on the podcast before, but I was going to a Wheat Kings game one time in Brandon. And I was running a little late, so I took my chicken sandwich to go. And it might have even just been a straight chicken breast, honestly, at this point. I don't know what age this was or what I was up to. But if you ever eaten a chicken breast without any sauce or without any water to wash it down, that thing, it got stuck. I was trying to drink water and the water was not going down my throat. It was a piece of chicken or a bite of chicken was lodged in my throat while I was driving to the Keystone. It was absolutely nuts, man.
I can see exactly how this happened too. I guarantee you it was just a piece of chicken on a plate that you had in your car. You took a plate in your car with you.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Okay, is this accurate from the chat? Adam, the Super Bowl is the most watched TV show ever?
Yes.
Really? Oh, yuck. I didn't watch it either. And I'm not afraid to admit that.
It is kind of it is a crazy feat, and it is fucking nuts the amount of people that single person can bring in.
Gross. We spent too much time talking about it. Let's move on. What's the next one?
Yeah. Are we ever eating In-N-Out again? First of all, have you ever had In-N-Out?
I don't think I have. Maybe. If
I've
I
had it
do, it wasn't
once.
memorable for me.
Yeah, same thing, and it was fine. It was just a regular good burger. Um, but I don't know. Everybody online is absolutely putting the entire blame of Tiger Woods, the entire blame of Jordan Spieth, and the entire blame of Tommy Kim, all being attributed to having shitty In-N-Out burgers. Can you imagine if you're like the CEO of In-N-Out Burger and you see all this going down Thursday afternoon? Well, I guess it was Friday. We're on watch watching ambulances outside of the what is that? The clubhouse there to see
Yeah.
what's happening with Tiger Woods. Like it looked like he died. And they didn't want us to see. That was the wildest shit that I've seen around golf in quite some time.
So I was watching that actually live, and I kind of saw the whole thing happen. And I was all of a sudden Tiger got on a cart, and nobody knew what was happening for about 15 minutes there. And even the announcers, I don't know what kind of I was on the golf. What was my golfstream.me? So I don't know what stream that was on, but nobody had a clue what was happening with Tiger. And I also think that is it the worst thing ever for In-N-Out? I feel like they got a pretty good deal out of that. Everybody's talking about In-N-Out. There's no actual proof that that's what caused it all. And I don't think anybody's not just going to eat In-N-Out because somebody on the PGA was shitting their pants. There's no chance. Nobody's going to stop eating In-N-Out because of that.
Motherfuckers were shooting cans of Bud Light beer because a person promoted it.
Kid Rock.
You don't think people are going to stop eating because Tiger Woods just about died
Yeah,
from a burger?
right. But you have to say why. Like, look what look what Bud Light did compared to what In-N-Out did. In-N-Out just did their job of serving food.
And they fucked
Bud
that up
Light took
royally.
it a little too far.
They fucked that up royally.
Okay, well, listen to this, Drummy. We got Boomer in the house. He's got a comment here, and usually this isn't allowed, but we'll allow it tonight. We're gonna have two fixture divots tonight. So the Prairie Scratch Tour is getting two. They're
For the
getting
price
two
of one?
birds stoned at once tonight. So this is one of his pet peeves. He wants to replace his from today. So his new one is what the fuck is with iron sets only being 5 to pitching wedge? I'm rattled about this tonight. Well, you know what that is, right?
And it'd be the same price.
Inflation. That's the golf club version of the cereal boxes shrinking for the same price.
I had this at Burger King yesterday.
You were
Got
at
a
Burger King.
we had some shit going on in the evening and we had to grab something quick. But anyways, we grabbed a Burger King meal, got a meal, got a drink. The drink was this fucking big. It was a shot
Why?
glass of Pepsi. I don't know. Just they can't afford to give me more soda, I guess. I don't know. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's just inflation at work there, Boomer. You
But
know all
that's
about that.
everywhere. Like everything is just a little bit smaller. Same amount in it, same weight, allegedly. Yeah, suck it.
So I think it used to be 3 iron to pitching wedge, right? So they're missing two clubs there
I think
because
more once
then
it's
the
been a
next
while
step,
since
yeah,
three irons have been in there.
the next step was 4 to gap wedge. Like with my clubs, I have a approach wedge or
Yeah,
attack wedge, whatever it is. So
same.
that's 4 to A. So you're losing the 3, but you're gaining it back on the other side. They straight up skip two clubs in that process there.
And yeah, like you said, they want $2,500 for this. I guess a 3 to P, but I mean you can
Yeah,
still get a 5 to P for $2,000. Like it's just
yeah.
absolutely insane.
But that's how they keep their prices kind of similar without it seem like it's going up too much. They just cut out a few of them.
Yeah,
Who needs them anyways?
crazy. Have you ever bought off that Golf Avenue?
Nope.
Do you know what it is?
Website?
You're brilliant.
Thanks.
I think it used to be Golf Town pre-owned, and it would just be like a spot where you could put
Oh
up
yeah, right.
secondhand shit. Yeah, and whatever it morphed into this Golf Avenue, it's not Golf Town secondhand anymore. It's a sick spot. Like I get in there and cruise around maybe three times a week, and I'll spend 7 hours on there. And you could spend so much money on there. You just never know. Am I actually getting something in decent shape? But I don't know. I have gotten a 5 wood and a 3 wood off there.
So are they all pre-owned?
You can get brand new shit. I think it's like demo clubs though, the brand new stuff. But yeah, so other than
Well,
that, it's all pre-owned or used shit.
I feel like pre-owned's fine for putters, wedges, irons, but I wouldn't buy a pre-owned driver personally.
I know it's just the drivers are so expensive for one fucking club. I just can never talk myself into spending that much money on a
I
club.
don't know. But welcome to the world, Drummy.
Yeah.
We'll keep grinding it out. What do we got next on Around the Greens?
Okay, so back to DQs or the boys punching out. So Spieth got DQ'd for signing an incorrect scorecard and then having to dart off to presumably shit his brains out. Do you think that is the correct penalty for signing an incorrect card?
Never.
Why do they carry scorecards still?
What? I mean, this happened at Cockrell, did it not? Something similar to
Yeah,
this?
yeah, last year.
He got DQ'd after a hole in one?
Yeah,
Or was that a different round? No, I'm pretty sure it was the
no.
same round.
Yeah, he got a hole in one and then he was out. Or did he get a stroke or did he get DQ'd?
No, he
Shit,
got
I can't remember
DQ'd, I'm
now.
pretty sure.
Yeah. And I think he was like T4.
That's like there's a lot of dumb rules in golf, but I feel like that's just the dumbest. I mean, people make mistakes. We are humans after all. And I mean, if you don't have the decency to go and tell a guy that, hey, your scorecard's wrong, let's get this fixed. We'll just double check that everything's okay here, and then you can sign it again and everything will be okay. We're not gonna make a huge deal of this. We're not gonna kick you out of the tournament. We're just gonna say you made a mistake. You're agreeing that you made a mistake, and we're gonna do it again.
And I think like that scenario happens 100 times a day on tour. But I think it was the simple fact that he was literally in an emergency situation
Which is
and
even
he
worse.
couldn't. That's what I mean. Like, can you not give this guy a fucking break because he had to go to the bathroom? That's
The
crazy.
PGA also has to come in there and say, look, Tiger's gone. Everybody's leaving to the Live Tour. Spieth is like one of the guys that people actually watch that remains on this tour. There's absolutely no chance we're kicking him out of this tournament for this reason. There's no chance we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, have some common sense, have some decency, have some common sense,
Sure.
and the world's a better place.
Tack on 4 more strokes
Or
because of it.
two
But I mean, that's still better than a DQ.
for everybody.
Especially like he's never looked at that fucking scorecard all around. I guarantee
Yeah.
it, right? Like it's all in front of him. It's all on the screen or on the big postings on every tee box.
Plus in
He's
his
never looked
head.
at it. Exactly. Like, ugh. It's disappointing.
It is disappointing. Be better, PGA. That's the reason why
Yeah.
you're losing to the Live Tours, bullshit like that. Legit. That's the reason why people are going to live, other than the money, of course, big factor there. But the shorts, the stupid rules, that's why people are just like, it's enough. Like either you adapt to things of how it should be, like common sense, decency, or you lose. PGA is losing.
Back speaking of the Masters, this upcoming Masters will be Vern Lundquist last.
Bernie.
in your life.
That's kind of sad.
Disappointing. It's I can't even say it's disappointing. It's just it's life, I guess, right? It's just that's what happens. Old
People
people,
getting older.
they die. Their time runs out.
Yep.
But we've got so legendary Vern Lundquist calls. The Jack in '86. Yes, sir. Tagger in your life. Just the absolute beauty. The voice of golf. Him and um, I'm blacking out. I was gonna say Bob Costas, but it's not Bob Costas, right?
No, I know who you're thinking of. I can hear his voice. I just can't think of his name.
Yeah.
He's the dude with a par 3 course in his
Does
backyard.
does football and shit too.
Somebody in the chat will know. Don't stress about it.
Anyways, did you see this one? The YouTube creators, or sorry, YouTube golf creators are competing for a chance to play on a PGA Tour event at Myrtle Beach. So I think there's 12. They've named 11. There was one yet to be decided. But 12 YouTube personalities are competing in a tournament. I'm assuming it's going to be on YouTube for their chance to compete at a PGA Tour event. Pretty crazy. This never existed previously. The first time of something like this. Who in their right mind would have thought the PGA Tour would be having a tournament for people from YouTube to come and compete at their event?
Well, that's what happens when I think they're I honestly think that they're just trying their best to stay relevant at this point.
It's part of it. 100% it's part of it. And maybe it's not to stay relevant. Well, I shouldn't say it that way, but um, not to get relevant, but to remain in the mix, right? Yeah. They got to do
I mean,
everything they can.
we've said it on the show before, but I feel like with Live, I thought that Live was going to be the tour that kind of brought these guys in there. But it seems like the PGA is kind of getting ahead of that, which is surprising to me. But I'm sure they'll be kind of. I don't think anybody's going to say no to Live, especially if they're throwing dollars at them. I
Yeah.
Live. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with that? But it is good to see the PGA is kind of somewhat adapting to the real world and kind of where we're at with everything right now. Kind of cool. They did something similar at the Waste Management actually a couple weeks ago. Drake was there. They did kind of I don't know what you'd call it. It was on like Wednesday night, I think, or Tuesday night, maybe before the Waste Management. But they did
Mhm.
like there was 20 of the YouTube influencers there. I guess they were doing something at night.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that wasn't a PGA sanction thing. I don't even know where this terminology came from. I'd never heard it before until like the past 3 weeks. But I don't think that was an actual PGA thing. I think it was just one of them put on like the tournament or events.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep. This is a good one too. Tour player Ben Griffin. Last week, his caddy ended up driving 6.5 hours Wednesday morning to go back to Arizona, where they were just at for the Waste Management, to get his players' clubs because they, for 3 flights back to back to back, did not put this gentleman's clubs on the flight. So he did not have clubs for 3 days after landing in LA. So his caddy drove 6 hours, 6.5 hours to go get his
Could you
clubs.
imagine?
Came back. Whew, that's got to be a good tip.
Yeah, no shit. But at the same time, if he doesn't get his clubs, Caddy's not getting paid either. So I don't know.
Right.
Some you got it. Was it 6 hours both ways?
Yeah, I think so. Um, can the PGA not like figure this out?
Yeah, no doubt. I think the problem is they're all going from different
Do you know what I
spots.
mean?
But
I guess, but can you not have like, okay, from this tournament
yeah,
on Tuesday, the PGA has a plane. If anybody needs a ride or their shit needs a ride, it's going to the next event.
They might have
You would
that,
think that'd
honestly,
be
for
pretty
some
easy.
of the
They might,
more
yeah.
well-known guys. But
I would
for
hope.
like whoever this guy was, Ken Griffin
Yeah.
Jr., I don't know.
Here,
And like
here's the
Cockrell, like these guys wouldn't have access to that. Same thing happened to Cockrell a couple years ago.
right. His wife had to come from Canada, where the fuck she did to get his shit in Italy or whatever.
And all those boys have those air tags in their bags, so they know exactly where they are.
Where everything is, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they probably have that. You'd think that similar to like a F1 event where they're kind of taking they have separate semis and separate planes, and that's where all the gear gets transferred. So there's no issues like this. But it seems like for some reason in the golf world, the boys are kind of on their own.
Yeah. I guess it's like practicing too. Like you're not just leaving your clubs for a week and not touching them going into an event.
Right. But you still think that once the event
Where,
ends, they could show up at the next place the next morning quite easily.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that they missed 3 fucking planes is crazy.
Yeah.
So Jory, you've got this as the title. Charlie Woods to the rescue. Charlie Woods is set to attempt to qualify for the Honda Classic, which is not named the Honda Classic, but will forever be named the Honda Classic in my mind because I refuse to rename things
What's it
in
called?
my old age. Couldn't tell you.
Are you still calling it Twitter or X? I still call it Twitter myself.
Twitter 100%. It's still called Rutgers. I don't even know what the actual word is for it here. Like where Sobeys is in Brandon at the mall, it's still Zellers. I still say we're going to Zellers.
Oh my God.
Just I refuse to update myself.
That's a totally different brand, though.
How gross is it that the PGA Tour is pimping out a 15-year-old who's
Okay.
like? And I saw stuff today that he's never competed in a sanctioned like PGA Tour USGA event, like a juniors PGA event. Never mind, he's going directly to. And like, are we putting money? Is this kid gonna make it?
I'm betting no, personally.
You think so?
I mean, if he qualifies, all the power to him. But from like what I understand, and like if you watch him, he's a mirror image of Tiger. But it just seems like it's kind of weird. Just how,
Super weird.
they're kind of losing their main guy in Tiger slowly. It seemed like, honestly though, everybody's kind of focused on what happened with Tiger. Like Tiger was playing pretty good golf this weekend. And he was
Okay.
walking a little bit funky on Friday morning, and it got cold Friday, which doesn't help.
He
But
shanked the shit out of that last drive.
and he's pretty quick to blame it on a back spasm too. But I mean, I've never been through that kind of pain before. I've never had that issue, so I can't relate to him at all.
Right. Yeah, the Charlie Woods thing, nothing about that will ever sit right in my heart. Like we're not relying an entire business on a 15-year-old who's not that good. He's like the 6th best junior in his state. Like that doesn't mean he's not going to end up being something different, but at this point he's 15. His ranking is not where it's being touted as. Like let's pump the brakes. Like
Yeah.
let's not fuck this kid's life up.
I just feel like I just feel like there's more harm than good that can happen from this.
I think so too.
Like, he's clearly not Tiger. Tiger was the best in the world for pretty much every year of his life. And I mean, Charlie's a good player. There's absolutely no doubt about that. He would whip the shit out of me on the golf course. But like, I don't know, 15's pretty young. 15's a tough age. And I mean, if say he shits the bed here, I mean, is there point of like stomping on him at 15 years old? Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like there's anything good that comes of it. Unless he makes the cut. And then everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, the PGA has been
That's
saved.
worse.
Charlie is
That's
here."
worse. That's
Yeah,
way
maybe.
worse because then it's every 20 seconds on the golf channel. It's a 15-year-old kid hitting a
Yeah,
shot. Like, yeah, just too
kind of weird.
much. Like I do. This is our guy, right? Like, so this is going to be like our adopted son for the rest of our lives. So like there is part of me that does want this kid to be the next Messiah, like the next
Yeah, I know.
Jesus, everything. But at the same time, I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I don't think it's in the cards, but maybe. Something weird with that,
Um,
by the way, I posted something on wherever it was. Might have been on Noster, but anyways, last week, probably on Monday or Tuesday, last week, I posted a picture of Tiger. I just Googled Tiger Woods and I was looking for kind of a cool picture to use of him. And I came up with a picture from, I did not know this was at Riviera. I did not know this was the case, but he had the striped shirt on kind of look. Anyways, the on Friday, the day that Tiger left the tournament, he was wearing the
the new
exact
gear.
same shirt as that. It was nuts. I couldn't believe that. It was like I just searched Tiger Woods on Google. That picture came up, posted it, and then sure enough, he wore that shirt. Obviously, has nothing to do with me there, but it was just kind of weird. Like I've never seen that
Yeah.
shirt, never seen that picture before, and it kind of just worked out weird. So
I didn't see the one you're specifically saying that you posted, but like there I think it was in the amateur that the
it
photos
was,
from where he's
yeah,
wearing the exact same thing, right? Yeah. Yeah.
but
That's
it was
so
at
crazy.
Riviera as well.
Also, do you like that shirt in the
Yeah, I
Sunday
do.
red? Do you? I'm
Oh,
not sure. That's there's
like the
two
brand,
shirts
you
I
mean?
don't like.
I don't know. It's kind of
What?
cool. It was just a nice tribute to him as a 15-year-old or 16-year-old.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I didn't like it until I saw the
Mhm.
reference to the yeah yeah. And then I got one last one here, and this is not golf. But did you see this new? I'm assuming I didn't see this portion of the video, but I'm assuming it's an app for the new um, Google or not Google. What do you call them? Glasses,
Apple,
Apple glasses.
the pod.
But the NBA has a new AI app that, as you're watching the game, you can, uh, by your voice, control it, and you can just say, "Hey, show me this game as a Spider-Man movie," and it will, zzz, and you'll start watching the game as if you're watching a Spider-Man comic book be played out on a TV show, but it's in your fucking eyes. Like it's just the stuff that they're coming up with and the stuff that they're able to do with this. It's absolutely bananas. Like I don't particularly like it. It's not something that appeals to me, but the fact that this exists is absolutely nuts. So in the
Yeah,
preview, they're playing basketball, simple, normal vision of a normal game, and then they just go, but as a Spider-Man movie, and then it just goes into a Spider-Man comic movie, and they're a little bit animated, the people, but they look like they're in a Spider-Man movie, but it's live, like it's a little bit delayed by like 2 seconds. But the fact that they can do that in 2 seconds and then throw it at your eyes, oh man,
creepy.
I love the world and I hate the world at the same time. It's scary, an amazing place.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think that there'll be a certain segment of the population that gets really into that thing and kind of just shuts out the world. I will not be one of those people, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because that's kind of like phase one of this whole thing, right? Like this, that's not where it stops.
But love or hate, that's cool as shit.
Yeah,
Like the 7-year old in me, like that is tits. That's unreal.
man, kids have a pretty nice nowadays. Like even as kids, I remember when TVs first came out and like in vehicles when you could actually watch a
Oh,
movie when you're going on a trip. That was like not that long ago when that came out. Now it's like everybody on earth has whatever they want to watch right in front of them at all times.
in their hand, yeah, it's nuts. Like Luca snaps if there's a commercial. Doesn't understand it. Like he watches a lot of YouTube videos now, and like it's just the dumbest shit. Like he just watches kids play with toys. I'm like, guy, we have that toy in the other room here. Do you want to go play with it? No, I want to watch this kid play with it. Fuck.
uh, okay, well, that concludes Around the Greens for this evening. Good saggy tonight. We're going to do the Fix Your Divot segment tonight. And everybody's favorite segment outside of the Reggie Stroke Saver and Around the Greens. But tonight's segment of Fix Your Divots. Drums, I have a little bit of a script for this one.
Ooh.
Tonight's segment of Fix Your Divots is brought to you by the Prairie Scratch Tour. First off, shout out to them for building something incredible here in Manitoba for golf. So thank you for that. Secondly, for sponsoring this segment. The purpose of this segment, Fix Your Divots, is not to bitch about other golfers on the course, but rather to point things out. And just in case somebody hears this episode and realize that it might piss other people off, maybe they'll stop doing that. So we have to remember that not everybody grew up playing golf. We need to practice our patience. And sometimes golfers just don't know any better. So that's the purpose of this segment. The Prairie Scratch Tour is back 2024 for another season. The 2024 summer schedule includes stops at Southwood for the Spring Classic, Grand Pines for the Prairie Shootout, Quarry Oaks for the Summer Showdown, Falcon Lake for the Bison Championship, and the 2024 Tour Championship will be held at Breezy Bend this year. Each event includes two divisions, the amateurs and the legends. So regardless of the age, you got a spot here. To find more information and to register for an event this summer, check out Prairie Scratch Tour on Instagram or visit the prairiescratchtour.ca. So that is tonight's ad. What do you think of that, Drummy?
Love it, buddy. Well done.
Thank you. What's the Fix Your Divots tonight?
This week's Fix Your Divot comes from our boy Clayton from Design Built in Winnipeg. And he says, I'm with him on this one, the pro shop wanting their carts back way too early in the evening. Like still 3 holes left of light. I'm with him. I haven't actually had this one happen to me recently, but there have been times where that's what happens. You'll be on hole 16, 17, or 18. It's a beautiful Friday night. It's 30 degrees out. You're cooking still. It's beautiful. Light is shining. It's 10 o'clock. These guys want to get out of here. I don't give a shit. If there is light and I'm on a golf course, I'm keeping this cart. If I have to take it home with me, be the case. But whatever's happening, you're not getting this cart from underneath my ass until I'm done.
I agree, man. I feel like, we grew up working at the pro shop. And so, you've been on the other side of this. It's frustrating. But at the same time, it's like this needs to be a tone at the top from every single golf course. Like if you're a pro shot or a pro at the golf course, if you're the GM, you have to make that kind of clear to the staff that regardless of what your schedule is outside of this golf course, you're here until it's pitch dark and there's going to be golfers out on the golf course until then. So there's no sense getting upset about it. There's no sense bitching about it or complaining to anybody. That's just how it is. And I feel like some courses do that very well. I would say Wheat City, I've never had one issue with that. Maybe one, but we took it probably too far.
We probably took it way too far, I think, in that case too. I think it was like pitch black on 16 and we were still going. Yeah. I think that's what popped things off. But no, like you said, like I grew up working in the pro shop at home. A little different scene back there. It would be like, well, just come upstairs and get pissed until they come in with the last cart, which 100% sign me up. But yeah, I understand you're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. You're trying to get out of the pro shop as quick as you can. I've been there, but it's an extra 30, 40 an hour at max. Relax. We're having our fun. You can have your fun later.
Yeah. And you're getting paid. So it's literally your job. So, as we said, some courses are good at it. I think that that comes from the tone at the top, from the pro, from the GM who understands, who's been there before. But then there's also courses not as lenient for the boys and the girls out there. So that's a great comment there. And I wanted to give a shout out, new follower today. So I think that Prairie Scratch Tour shared that on their page, and
Oh,
he was
brought it in.
he was the first crack at it. There's been people sending in fixture divots for months and haven't got onto the Kingdom yet. So shout out to Clayton. Two Claytons in a row.
Beauty. Love it. Before you get to the next one, I want to go back to Dusty Dick. He said shocked he couldn't get new versions of his clubs built in the tour trucks at every event, which I never thought of, but completely agree. But at the same time, Dusty himself is a great golfer. Would a great golfer be very eager to just grab new clubs the week of an event and head out and just like would you feel comfort in that, or would you rather pay the guy the extra scratch and get him to hike it 6 hours?
Not, I mean, depends who it is. Like if you're talking
For
about
sure.
Tiger Woods, like do you remember that story of Tiger that he had something underneath the grip on his putter and he had to change it because it was bothering where his thumb was. He was so used to his old putter and somebody changed the grip and there was like a little speck of dust in there and he could feel that on his putter.
Yeah, he
So
said it was the tape.
I don't think there's a chance in hell that Tiger would start a tournament with a fresh set of clubs. I just can't see it.
But like I'm not even saying Tiger, like I don't even think that Dustin would.
Right. Roscoe in the house. Shout out to Shanks. He's saying rigged. Are we still talking about the Super Bowl? Or
How far
what's
back are we?
rigged? Okay, let's get to this last part here, then we'll wrap her up for the evening. So usually at this time of night we do the Reggie Stroke Saver. But as you can see, Reggie's not here tonight. So this one's going to be called the Drums and Jor Stroke Saver. Hope you guys like this one. And no, I'm not going to say that. I was just going to kind of make an aside here, but there's no sense talking like that. I mean, a big part of the Kingdom here is going to be promoting local golf courses this summer. That's a big part of our mission for this year, and it has been from day one. And also helping people play better golf, enjoy the game more, and eventually through that, grow the game. So the point of that is the Reggie Stroke Saver, also known as Jor and Drum Stroke Saver tonight. So this is from Greg Norman's Instant Lessons. One of my favorite books, honestly, in golf. Very underrated. It's 100 pages with 100 different lessons in it. And this one's called Reading a Greens from Afar. And I'll read it quickly and then we can discuss. So this is Greg Norman talking. One trick I use and recommend to you when you're playing a new golf course is to begin reading the green well before you reach it. Take note of its setting. If the green appears flat, but the surrounding terrain slopes a particular direction, the green will fall towards the low spot, the lowlands. You should also watch the behavior of your approach shots. You should also watch the behavior of your approach shot and of those of your playing companions. Did the ball stop quickly or did it take a big bounce upon landing? How fast and far did it roll? What direction did it curve at the end of its roll? All of these things will give you hints. But beware of paying too much attention to their putts. It says, watch your companion's chip shots, but beware of paying too much attention to their putts. Bitter experience has taught me that each player puts a slightly different hit and roll on the ball. So I don't pay too much heed to the other putts, but I do watch their other shots very closely. Great advice. Do you do
Fantastic
that?
advice. Christ, though.
No?
Man, like the more that you guys get into, like this isn't even like a pre-shot routine. It's just how you conduct yourself on a golf course. I realize like how far off I am from conducting myself like anybody else on a golf course. Um, like I'm picking a song, I'm grabbing a dart, I'm chugging a beer, and then I hit a ball. Like that's all that happens in my mind on a golf course. So I think I'm at like that edge of a shit show and somebody that could be a decent golfer. I think I'm right on that line.
Well, so
And
maybe these are helping then.
I, I just fall. I lean to the fuck it side of things and just fall back to, we'll just get pissed and put it in.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I mean, the first part of that whole thing, drums, was when you're playing a new golf course. So like with Wheat City, you kind of know where things are, where things break. But when you're at a new golf course and you're not really familiar with the greens and everything around the greens, that's kind of what he was talking about there.
But both, like, I don't do it either.
Yeah. But I mean,
It's not
usually
even a
when you're playing
thought.
a new course, you're usually on a bachelor party or something, right?
True. True.
So I thought that
But
was
no,
great
like, I
advice
want
from the
to,
shark.
I'm like, gonna, this is part of my like notes I'm gonna take for actually, I don't even know, like, if it, like, I guess this is considered the mental portion of the game, right? Like,
Big
can
time.
I, can I switch what my thought process is towards the game or whatever's happening in it? Can I switch that and be like, can I become a legitimate like golfer in thought process with this, or am I just gonna forever be
You tell me.
let's
Maybe
just
this will be the
let's
summer
just
of
go?
drums. You could be
Oh,
the test dummy. You can put all these you can write down like your top 10 mental corrections you want to make this year and see what happens with it. You'll have to check in before every time you go to work on Thursday afternoon. Instead of going out for coffee, you just review your drummy's notes for the day and try to keep it simple, but also try to stay somewhat in the game.
okay. So I'm gonna try and do this
Okay,
because, well, new baby, so I can't be like blackout hammered
true.
every night. So yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Get my head in
Summer
the
of
game.
drums.
Get your head in the game.
Come on, drums. Okay, well, that has been Reggie's Stroke Saver, also known as Drums and Jor Stroke Saver tonight. So there you have it, folks.
Is that
Drummy,
something you do though?
I do actually, and more so. I mean, not every time I'm playing. Obviously, at Wheat City, it's not as relevant for me because I kind of know where everything is. But I
Right.
always just like if I'm, especially if you're walking, that's kind of like the big thing for that. If you're driving a cart, everything's happening too fast. You're talking to your guy. But if you're walking and you're kind of walking up to the green and you can see all that, I definitely check that out when I'm in the zone, I guess you'd say, which
Right.
isn't every round for sure. But it is pretty important. I have never looked at other people's golf balls, like how they land, how they roll, how they finish out. But I definitely try to, as I'm walking up to the green, I try to look for the different slopes and kind of where the low spot of the green is.
That's an amazing tip for like my uh, caliber of guys, because that's not something that like you just routinely think of as just watch how this guy's ball ends up on the green.
And how it
Very
bounces. Was it
right, like
soft? Yeah.
it's a very simple thought process that gives you a lot of information for nothing.
But if you think about it, like there's a reason why in golf, I mean, you call it the honors. Whenever whoever, won the last hole, whoever's up, they go first because there is a lot of benefit from seeing other players hit the ball. And a lot of guys don't really pay too close attention to that. But if you're kind of dialed into it and you kind of see whether it's the wind took it or whether how it bounced, kind of where it sloped at the end, there is a big benefit to, and that's why the guys with the honors go first is because, it's supposed to even the playing field a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's it, Drummy. Let's get the heck
Love
out
it.
of here. That was a
Okay.
good show tonight.
The only thing I think I will throw it back at you, King Cup.
Oh yeah,
We got a
King
date.
Cup we announced last week, but we're gonna make an official announcement probably maybe tomorrow or Friday. I said that last week, but there's just so much going on right now. I just don't want to overwhelm people. So probably next week we'll announce it. We'll announce the registration process. I do think that it's going to be a little more full this year. We already had the Dello boys reach out looking for the date of it, but it's going to be July 19th, 2024. Another Friday this year, back at Oak Island. And as always, it's going to be a good time. And we might have
Mhm.
something else kind of up our sleeve too for the fall in terms of the top X amount of teams going to secondary King Cup. We'll see.
Ooh.
It's still in the works, but for sure the King Cup, July 19th, 2024. We want the best golfers there. That's kind of that's what the King Cup's been about since inception. Is it
Beauty. I
lots of golfers there?
um, what did Shelley win last week?
Uh, from King,
Yeah,
he won a King Golf hat
right. And
or a
so
hoodie
I
was
just
taken.
hoodie. I sent him a message, and he said he's got a couple teams that are coming out this year. So as soon as the
Nice.
registration's open, he said he's going to fire a few teams out our way. So that's good. He's been out every one. So we're gathering some boys even from Winnipeg too. So Winnipeg and Dello, whew, we're cooking. That's it. You just had to move it. This is you. This is on you.
No. Boomer says you better avoid it if we need players. Yeah, right. No, it is. There's a good, healthy competition there. And last year it got a little bit heated with it. I haven't really decided yet. I eventually want to turn this into something where we have markers at every hole.
Qualifying and shit.
No, like markers. So just to confirm everybody's being honest. I think that that's important nowadays.
I don't know if you're a well, yeah.
But
If
then
you're
it just
still
removes
cheating on golf tournaments, like give yourself a
for
fucking check
sure.
in.
For sure. But at the same time, it's like I don't think it's fair that somebody actually has a better score and loses. And in the PGA, in an actual event like that, that doesn't happen because there's actual people there, there's cameras there, there's official markers there. I just feel like, yeah, the game is built on honesty and it's a
Gotcha.
gentleman's game. But when there's people who aren't gentlemen that are golfing, playing, then you kind of need that to just keep everybody honest. And it wouldn't, not saying that that has happened in the past at all. I just think that any legitimate tournament I've been to, that's the case there. And I do
Yep.
think the Tamarack should implement that policy as well for the qualifying.
Fair.
That's just
Actually,
my opinion.
crazy that they haven't. Like, there's so many volunteers that like do offer their time there. Yeah, 100% with you.
But who knows? Maybe this year, after kind of the drama that unfolded at the Tamarack last year with the gimmies and with whatever else happened, won't mention names, but I mean, why not? If there's people out there already, just like at the end of the hole, there's a guy with a computer there entering the score. Then the players don't have to do it. The guy at the ninth, 10th hole doesn't have to do it. It just happens. It's automatic. It's not that hard to
Well,
do.
then you don't sign a shitty card and get DQ'd.
Yes, that's right, Drummy. All right, let's bail.
So what we do, we solve problems over here. We're out of here. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for coming and joining us at the Kingdom. We are out for this week. We will be back, same time, same place, yet again next week. We're out of here. Love you, boys. Peace. Later.
Love you, fellas. Love you, Reggie. Love you, Drummy. Bye bye.